Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to be here with you all to be talking about the new film Mank. Yes, Mank, which is the new film from David Fincher, the very acclaimed director. I will start off by saying that he's definitely one of my favorite film directors of all time, definitely top three. If you've seen my review of The Social Network, then you will know exactly how much I do appreciate and enjoy his work. So, with him not having released a film in about 6 years since Gone Girl, him making his return, a lot of hype around that. And of course, due to the unfortunate circumstances of COVID, we can't really all enjoy this in the movie theater. I am a big lover of the movie theater experience. And however, I'm really thankful for the many streaming services which have allowed many of us during these tough times to still enjoy new movies from the comfort of our own home. So now that I've seen it, let's go ahead and talk about it. So I want to first start off by saying that I'm want to talk about the definitely the things that I really loved about this film. I think definitely David Fincher's directing style, as I'm already a huge fan. I can definitely say that he can brings his best here with just classic David Fincher. His cinematography is just absolutely phenomenal, and I love seeing it in a new perspective in black and white. And yeah, just great. The script is really good. Actually, the script was I didn't know this prior, but the script was actually written by his father, Jack Fincher, and he had intended to make this movie a long time ago, but it just never really happened. So really cool that he got to make his father's script and bring it to life. So that was really cool. And definitely, I think that the biggest shining quality in this film is definitely going to be the acting performances. I mean, Gary Oldman is definitely going to be a leading contender for Best Actor at the Oscars. Um, I just really loved his performance. It's just classic Gary Oldman. You know what you're gonna get. Just one of the most acclaimed actors of in many recent decades. So, and you go down the line, Amanda Seyfried, who plays the female lead. Um, Phenomenal. And of course, I love seeing Lily Collins in here, who's like the love of my life. I love her, and she's a tremendous actor and a great performance here also. And I want to give a shout out to the gentleman. I can't remember his name right now, but the gentleman who did play Orson Welles. He kind of looked like him. He wasn't like a clone of him, as you may see some real life people. When people are cast, it's like a big thing that they look like him. But he does look like him, but it's not like exactly like Orson Welles. But he sure as hell sounds like him. It's just absolutely chilling. A lot of his dialogue comes from through the phone conversations he's having with Mankiewicz, and you can just hear if you've seen Orson Welles films and you hear his voice in Mank, you're gonna be like, whoa, he sounds just like him. So that was really cool to see. So essentially, the film is about it's like kind of a biography of um, Herman Mankiewicz, who wrote the screenplay for Citizen Kane. But I think what it really does, it's kind of definitely like a love letter to old Hollywood. But I think it's told from the perspective of like, and I didn't know this prior to. I love Citizen Kane. Many people do, of course. But I didn't really know. The story behind the making of it, and it's really cool to see that the two of the main characters in this film, the character Marion Davies, played by Amanda, and the other gentleman who plays William Hurst, who was at the time in the 1930s, one of the most successful, I think the most successful newspaper publisher in America. So it's crazy that you see that Mankiewicz definitely wrote the screenplay for Citizen Kane based off of these two characters. You have this the real life man William Hurst, who is the big um, one of the most richest and successful people in America, who publishes newspapers. You have the love interest. Um, that brings a lot of drama into his life, as is in Citizen Kane, as is here. So you see how the relationships that Mank has really plays a role in how he developed this script. And I think that really the main message of what this film is trying to tell is definitely that it's shining a light on the politics of film, especially in those times back then, because this was all the drama leading up to the making of Citizen Kane was during the, of course, the Great Depression, and there was a lot of political drama going on at the time. And you have here a writer in Herman Mankiewicz, at writers weren't really getting a lot of the credit. Like he wasn't going to get the credit for writing Citizen Kane, and he definitely, as I don't want to spoil anything, but there's definitely a lot of butting heads as far as him getting credit for writing it, and you see that he is a struggling alcoholic and he has his own problems to deal with, but you can see how definitely the world that he lives in and this very politically driven film industry of the time and how it plays like it's such a stressful time, especially for a writer. Like I said, he's kind of the butt of the joke. He's like a crazy person, but it's just like, it's just like, here, you write this movie, blah blah blah. He's dealing with so much studio interference, how that goes, and it's definitely it can be hell for a writer at the time. So I definitely love seeing that as a huge, having a huge appreciation for people who do write screenplays. It's really crazy to see how at the time this is kind of this was par for the course, and like I said, there's a lot of political drama that was playing in at the time that you see here in Mank. Then and he's kind of the outsider looking in. He's like, man, I'm just trying to write these damn screenplays. So it's really cool to see. I really did. There's a lot of references, a lot of political references, film references. If you're not, familiar with old timey Hollywood, I can see why this film could be a little bit of a slow burn, and it may be hard for you to kind of get fully invested in the film, and I get that myself. I kind of got a little like there's so many references. I was like, I kind of don't really know what they're really necessarily talking about, but the big picture of the thing, I definitely love seeing how you know basically him writing the screenplay Citizen Kane. It's kind of a diss to these real life characters, which was inspired by, because it's kind of as Citizen Kane is kind of the story of a man who kind of writes a newspaper, which is going against the establishment and kind of trying to be a news publication for the everyman, for the every people, for the best interests of the underprivileged. And that's kind of what Mank is doing here when writing the the script of Citizen Kane. He's like, all these big studio, the higher ups, the wise guys and everything are kind of pushing him down, treating him badly, and he's kind of caught up in this weird political world of Hollywood, and it's just crazy how he deals with all of it, and he how he of course copes with it with being a huge alcoholic, and just love seeing the way that this story plays out. And it's like I said, a bit of a slow burn, but I said if you love the old timey Hollywood, and you know you love classical film, you're definitely going to find a lot more enjoyment in this film more than others. So yeah, and I wouldn't say that you necessarily have to see Citizen Kane prior to seeing this. I will always be an advocate of, if you see a movie that's about a movie and about a movie, I always think it's best to watch the movie. So I would suggest if you haven't seen Citizen Kane, it would definitely make this Mank a little bit more enjoyable. But I will say that, like I said, I do really enjoy the film. I wouldn't quite put it in the upper echelon of David Fincher films, which is, my favorite films of his, or some of my favorite films of all time, that being The Social Network, Zodiac, and Fight Club. I would probably put it a tier below that, but still, I really love this film. It's definitely you know, it's probably going to definitely remain one of my favorite films of the year. We'll see how everything plays out, but I definitely expect this to be a huge contender at the Oscars, and probably take home a few awards. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, we're still in Oscar season. These films still have to be released. Um, but I'm really excited for. I was really excited to finally see this film. I would definitely give it definitely a two thumbs up. I don't really have an official rating scale, but yeah, I really did enjoy the film. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Great film. So that's my review of Mank. Have you seen it? Once you've seen it, I'd like to know what are your thoughts about it. The Return of David Fincher. What I would love to see what you all have to say about it. So thank you so much for watching this. If you like this review, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me.